Jim, are you there?
Yes, I'm still here.
Hi, Jim.
Hi, Jim.
Go ahead.
Hey, a question for you. Many years ago, we used to have the council provide a budget on a yearly basis to city roads, snow removal. And what would happen was, use the budget, they used the budget. If they didn't use the budget, they were allowed to keep the budget and accumulate it. But a better road clearing for the winter time for snow removal. Just wondering if that be something that you willing to put on the table.
Sure, you're really breaking up, but let me tell you what we are doing, and I think I can partially answer that question. So over the course of the last decade, last 15 years or so, we've chronically underfunded snow removal. And so what happened was when they went under budget, which never happened, the money would just disappear at the end of the year. When they went over budget, what they were doing is they were taking money away from the summer maintenance, from potholes, and especially from sidewalk repair. So what we did just this week is we created a new snow and ice reserve. So we did two things. Number one is, last year, as you know, we massively increased the base budget for snow removal so that they don't go over budget every year. We increased it by 1/3, and Calgarians have told me they really appreciated the improvement in service. Right. So we did that. And then number two is we created a reserve fund so that if it's a bad snow year, roads can pull out of that fund without impacting their summer maintenance. And if it's a good snow year, they can put money back into the fund without impacting their summer maintenance. So I think that's going to work. We're going to do a 3-year experiment to see if that is a better way of budgeting for snow removal in the long run. And I think it's going to work very well. We will continue to have the higher level of service that you saw last year. Two other quick things about snow. Number one is we have implemented a new system of parking bans, not uncontroversially. But a lot of folks have told us this is the way to clear streets more effectively. So if we have a greater than 5 centimeter snowfall snow event, that usually happens 3 times a winter, 4 times a winter, we're going to try this. If it doesn't work, we won't do it anymore. But we're going to go ahead and do this experiment and see how well it works. Now, the other thing I have to say, since I've got you all on live TV, there is a winter storm warning in effect. So, and unfortunately, this is the worst kind because it's still going to be snowing during the morning rush. We can't plow it before it hits the ground, folks. So the crews are out there pre-treating the roads to prevent ice from the freezing rain. But I'm telling you now, tomorrow morning's commute is going to be slow, it's going to be ugly, and it's going to be snowy. So drive safely, please. Leave yourself lots of extra time. And if you don't need to travel in the morning, if you can work from home, it's a good morning to do so.
And what surrounding the parking bans in the certain areas, is that where you're seeing the most resistance from people?
Well, both people who are super happy about it, mostly people who've lived in other cities who say, look, that's the only way to get this done efficiently, and some people who are annoyed about it. And in particular, so the snow ban is on priority 1 streets like Glenmore Trail and Barlow Trail, which typically don't have any parking on them anyway. And on priority 2 streets, which is mostly bus routes, including the street I live on, by the way. Those should be okay, but some of the priority 2 streets, the reason they are priority 2 streets is because they're particularly difficult. For example, in the community of Bankview, where there's so darn many hills. And in some of those neighborhoods, and there's just a very small handful of them across the city, it is actually going to be a challenge to find parking. And those are the ones where Roads is looking to be very flexible and try and figure out if we need the parking bans or not after we try it once. The other thing I should mention, because this hasn't been well publicized, if you have a handicap sticker on your car, a handicap placard, or if you have a handicap zone in front of your house, then you are exempt from the parking ban.
Okay, I think the magic words you just said in that whole answer was, we're going to try it. We're going to try it for this year, and if it works, great, and if it doesn't, we'll scrap it.
And in fact, even in between storms, if there are certain streets that have proven to be a problem, we'll figure out what to do.
We'll roll with it.